You use a toilet every single day, multiple times. You sit down, you do your business, you flush, you wash your hands, and you never think about it. Clean, private, simple, done in minutes. But have you ever wondered what ancient humans did? No toilets, no toilet paper, no plumbing, no privacy, no soap, nothing. Where did they go? What did they wipe with? Did they just go anywhere? And when did humans first decide that this needed to be organized? The answers are disgusting, fascinating, and surprisingly important to understanding how civilization actually works. Let us start with the obvious. For millions of years, early humans did exactly what every other animal does. They squatted wherever they happened to be and walked in a way. No ceremony, no shame, no designated area. Just like a deer or a dog, you feel the need, you squat, you leave. There was no concept of embarrassment about this. No privacy required, no special location. The entire world was your bathroom. And honestly, for nomadic hunter-gatherers who move constantly, this worked fine. You go, you move on, nature decomposes it, problem solved. But here is where it gets interesting. Even very early humans were slightly more strategic than other animals. Archaeological evidence suggests that some prehistoric groups designated specific areas away from their camps for defecation, not formal toilets, just a general understanding that you do it over there, not here where we eat and sleep. This is remarkable because it shows that even hundreds of thousands of years ago, humans understood something other animals do not. That waste near your living area causes sickness. They did not know about bacteria. They did not know about parasites. But they observed the pattern. People who slept near waste got sick more often. So they separated the two. This might be one of the earliest examples of preventive medicine, and it was entirely based on observation and pattern recognition. Ancient humans noticed a cause and effect, could not explain it scientifically, but changed their behavior anyway. Smart enough to act on evidence, even without understanding the mechanism. Now let us talk about what they wiped with, because this is where it gets creative. No toilet paper existed until about the 6th century in China. That means for hundreds of thousands of years, humans had to figure out alternatives, and they used absolutely everything you can imagine. Leaves, the most common option worldwide. Broad, soft leaves from nearby plants. This seems obvious, but think about the learning curve. Some leaves are fine. Some leaves cause rashes. Some leaves are poisonous. Imagine the trial and error involved in figuring out which leaves are safe to use on your most sensitive areas. Stones. Smooth river stones were used across the ancient world. In the Middle East, in Africa, in Asia, you scraped with a smooth, flat stone. This sounds brutal, but polished river stones are actually quite smooth. Archaeological sites have found collections of stones worn to a specific shape from repeated use. Seashells. Coastal communities used mussel shells and clam shells. The curved, smooth interior makes a surprisingly effective scraping tool. This has been documented across Pacific Island cultures and coastal Mediterranean communities. Sticks, wrapped in cloth or used bare. A sharpened stick wrapped with moss or grass was essentially the first toilet paper. Some cultures used thin bamboo scrapers. Snow. In cold climates, snow was the obvious choice, clean, cold, and plentiful. Arctic peoples used snowballs. It melts on contact, providing both cleaning and rinsing in one step. Corn cobs. In the Americas, after corn was domesticated, dried corn cobs became the standard. Rough enough to clean, absorbent enough to work, and abundant after harvest season. Sponges on a stick. The Romans invented this. A sea sponge attached to a wooden stick, dipped in vinegar water or salt water between uses. These were shared in public latrines. Shared between strangers. Let that sink in, and in some cultures is the left hand. This is why in many parts of the world, the left hand is considered unclean. Why you eat only with your right hand. Why shaking with the left hand is offensive. All of this thousands of years of the left hand being designated for bathroom purposes. Now here is where the real story gets fascinating. What happened when humans stopped being nomadic? When you are a nomadic hunter-gatherer, the bathroom problem is easy. You go somewhere, you leave, you never return to that spot. Nature handles the rest. But when humans settled into permanent villages, everything changed. Suddenly, thousands of people are living in the same small area permanently. They cannot just go anywhere because they will be stepping in each other's waste within days. The ground around the settlement would become contaminated. Water sources would be polluted. Disease would spread rapidly. The transition from nomadic to settled life created the first sanitation crisis in human history, and solving it required one of the earliest forms of engineering. About 5,000 years ago, in what is now Pakistan, the Indus Valley civilization built something remarkable. Indoor plumbing, actual drainage systems connected to homes, toilets built over channels of running water that carried waste away from living areas. 5,000 years ago, before the wheel was widely used, the city of Mohenjo-Daro had a more advanced sanitation system than many cities had in medieval Europe, thousands of years later. Around the same time, in Mesopotamia, people used portable ceramic jars placed beneath holes in the floor, simple pit toilets, the waste collected in the jar, which was emptied periodically. Not glamorous, but it kept waste separated from living spaces. In Crete, the Minoan civilization built the first known flush toilet around 700 BCE. A stone seat over a channel of running water. Pull a lever, water rushes through, waste disappears. Nearly 4,000 years ago, and then Rome. The Romans were obsessed with sanitation. They built massive sewer systems. The Cloaca Maxima in Rome was one of the world's first major sewer systems, draining waste from public latrines into the Tiber River. Roman public latrines were social spaces, rows of stone seats with holes, no dividers, no privacy. 20 or 30 people sitting side by side doing their business while chatting about politics and weather. They shared sponge sticks for wiping. They considered this normal, social bathroom time. But here is the crucial point of this entire story. Every major advancement in human civilization is linked to solving the bathroom problem. You cannot have a city without sanitation. You cannot have a dense population without waste management. You cannot have trade without healthy populations. You cannot have healthy populations without clean water. And you cannot have clean water without separating it from human waste. Civilization is sanitation. Every great city that fell to plague and disease fell because its sanitation failed. Every city that thrived because its waste management worked. The fall of Rome was partly a sanitation collapse. Medieval Europe's Black Death spread partly because sanitation had regressed from Roman standards. Cities threw waste into streets. Drinking water was contaminated. Millions died. When London finally built a proper sewer system in the 1860s after the Great Stink, death rates from cholera dropped immediately. The connection between waste, water, and disease was finally proven scientifically. But ancient humans had figured out the behavioral solution hundreds of thousands of years earlier. They just could not explain why it worked. Today, 2 billion people on Earth still lack access to basic sanitation. And every year, hundreds of thousands die from diseases caused by inadequate waste management. The bathroom problem that prehistoric humans first noticed is still killing people right now. The toilet is not a luxury. It is one of the most important inventions in human history. It has saved more lives than any medicine, more lives than any weapon has taken. The humble toilet, which you use without thinking multiple times per day, is the foundation upon which all human civilization rests. And it all started because one ancient human noticed that sleeping near waste made you sick. and decided to do something about it. So the next time you flush, remember that you are using a technology that took hundreds of thousands of years to develop. From squatting in a field, to designated waste areas, to pit toilets, to indoor plumbing, to the porcelain throne you sit on today. Every flush is a victory of human engineering. Every flush saves a life somewhere. Every flush connects you to the very first ancestor who said, "Not here, over there." If you found this interesting, subscribe. I tell stories like this every week. Next time, we are exploring something fascinating. When did ancient humans start wearing clothes? I will see you there.